Welcome to the Pacific Mountain Regional Council General Meeting 2020 using the virtual platform Whova. In this tutorial, I'm going to take you through looking at the agenda and attending a session. So once you've logged in, on the web version, you're going to be at this home screen by default, although you may end up at different pages depending on how you get here. You'll notice down the left-hand side, the navigation menu. We're focusing in this tutorial on the agenda, which is right below the home one. And if you click on agenda, you'll see here the agenda. And depending on the day, it will take you to the day that it is. Right now we're before the first session, so it drops in on the first session. So you can see there's one session on the 15th, which is a remit learning and discussion session. It's kind of a pre-meeting session. Then on Friday, we've got 4 sessions. Saturday, we've got 4 sessions. And then Sunday is a recorded worship that is available for folks to use if they'd like. When it's time to attend a session, and you can click through your days by clicking the arrows to the side if you want. So we're going to take a look at Thursday's session here as our example. So I've clicked on Thursday. Here's the Thursday session. And I can either click on the name of the session or I can click over here to View Session to enter the session. Now if I want, I can click Add to my Agenda, and that will just put it over up here so you can look at a different session. I'm assuming for this meeting most people will be attending all sessions, so it's not a big deal. But for example, if we had a session that was workshops and you just wanted to attend one of them, that might be where the Add to my Agenda is. But for now, you don't really need to worry about it. So we're going to click in the View Session here, and it'll take us to this page here, which has this big video at the top, or big box at the top, that says it's a breakout session, and you can click to go to Zoom. Whether we're doing breakouts or not, we want to click the Go to Zoom button, and they will all be set up as a breakout session, unless it's streaming from a different source. But we want to have Zoom pop out on its own rather than be integrated into Whova for our purposes in the meeting. And that's especially important when we get to voting, which you'll learn about in a separate video. And so if you scroll down from here, you can see some of the speakers, so the people who are going to be involved in this session, and a little bit of information on the session, and then any handouts or documents that you might want access to. So this session we're going to be learning about Remit 1, and so we have document here where you can download or click to pop up the wording of the Remit 1 that is before the court or before the council. And so if you click up here to the Go to Zoom button, it'll launch your Zoom, and then you can see, because the meeting isn't scheduled yet, it'll say here meeting scheduled for this time. So I can close that and leave my meeting and X out that if I want. And so if the meeting hasn't started yet, that's what it will say. And when the meeting starts, you'll be put in the waiting room. One tip to make things easier, because Zoom's going to pop out and cover your screen, especially depending on how you have it set up. On a Windows computer, if you go up to the upper right, next to the minimize line thing, there is this one says restore down. It looks like some windows. It's next to the X. And if you click that, it takes it away from full screen and puts it in a window on the side. And then I have arrows where I can control my size a little bit. And I want to do that for this session. Before I click the Zoom link is a little easier. But then when I click the link to go to Zoom, I can put Zoom on the screen next to Whova so that this stays open. And like I said, when we get to the voting part, in the voting tutorial, we'll go into more details, but you'll get a notification here that says message, where it says messages. And so you're going to then want to be able to see that and click that in order to vote. But you still want to be seeing the meeting off to the side, and you're going to want to see when that notification comes. So that's why it might be worthwhile to make this smaller and put the meeting off to the other side. The other option is when you click the link that you just have Zoom not fill your screen and just make sure you can see the side of this session as well. So you may have heard before, Whova's kind of like the container that we put the different tools we want to use for the meeting in. And so Zoom is a great way to see and hear each other, but it's nice to have some of these other options as well. And so if you look at some of the other videos, you'll see about the community board and messages and meetups and how we can do some of the other features that Whova offers as well. But so this is how you get into the session. You go to agenda, you pick your session, and then you go into Zoom and you'll get into the meeting and be able to see and hear and chat with folks there.